Before I jump into my side, John, I really love that you talked about the culture of recruiting. You do not hear a lot of leaders talking about that, but it's a very critical and very strategic thing that I think as leaders of small to mid-sized organizations we have to embrace because it's critical. Now, I wanted to start talking a little bit about PEOs. So, a professional employer organization, also known as a PEO, provides comprehensive HR solutions to small to mid-sized organizations. Payroll, benefits, HR, tax administration, and regulatory compliance are some of the many services that PEOs provide to growing businesses across the country. By providing payroll, benefits, and HR services and assisting with compliance issues under state and federal laws, PEOs allow small businesses to improve productivity and profitability and ultimately focus on their core mission, and by doing so, it allows them to grow. So Heather, let's move over to the next slide. Since December of 2004, employment at small businesses using PEOs has grown more than 7% faster than at small businesses overall. This is according to the Intuit Small Business Employment Index. The average overall employee turnover rate in the United States is approximately 42% per year. For companies that use PEOs for at least 4 quarters, it is 28 to 32%. So there's a big difference. We're looking at a difference of about 10 to 14% in turnover. What organization would not be happy to say that I can reduce my turnover by 10 to 14% by partnering with another organization? It is important to point out that businesses that use PEOs are also approximately 50% less likely to go out of business from one year to the next when compared to similar companies in the population as a whole. The overall business failure rate among private businesses in the United States as a whole is approximately 8% per year. It is approximately 4% per year for those companies that use PEOs for the last 4 quarters. Again, these are some great stats and some great numbers out there. Now, how does a PEO impact an organization? Heather, we're at the next slide. Through a PEO, the employees of small businesses gain access to big business employee benefits such as 401k plans, health, dental, life, dependent care, and other benefits they might not typically receive as employees of a small company. This will help you attract and retain that top talent, similar to what John was speaking about previously. There's also a bottom line impact that comes with partnering with the PEO. They provide small to mid-sized organizations direct access to a full HR department of experts who pride themselves on exceptional and high-touch services for a fraction of the cost of doing it in-house. Think about a small to mid-sized organization somewhere between 20, 100 to 150 employees. It is very difficult from a bottom line perspective to have an HR professional, a payroll professional, and a benefits professional in-house. However, partnering with a PEO, you're able to have access to all that knowledge of expertise, really, but at a fraction of the cost. So yet another benefit, another impact that a PEO can have on a small to mid-size organization. So moving on to the next slide and talking a little bit about the talent war. The reality is that today's workforce is transient in nature. And as business leaders, we have to look for ways to extend the employee life cycle with our organization as much as possible. It is critical for us to understand that as small to mid-sized organizations, we are not only competing against each other for top talent, but we're also competing with the big businesses for the same talent pool. So because of that, it becomes important that we have the right HR infrastructure in place in order to compete with those larger organizations. So the approach to the candidate itself has to be very sophisticated. We have to make sure that the recruiting experience overall is memorable. In even tactical things, such as ensuring that the posting itself is excellent, it has the right information in it. The description of the role has to be on point. The benefit packages have to be up to par as well. And ultimately, a great candidate will want to hear about the culture of the organization. We have to be able to tell a great story about what the culture is, what the vision of the organization is, and the strategies that we have for the future. And we can't just talk about it, but it also has to be truthful. There are foundational steps to attract a great candidate, or ultimately keep that talent. So these are some foundational steps to attract that talent and also position yourself to keep that talent in your organization for many years to come. Please keep in mind that these steps, they are the byproduct of a great HR infrastructure. And the PEO is an ideal partner to have you achieve standards of excellence and sustain these standards for a long time. So let's talk a little bit about the employee experience. We focused on attracting great talent. Now, it is also important to onboard that great talent the right way. Structured onboarding has a direct impact on retention. So creating a structured onboarding program is key. According to a study by the Wintrust Group, when employees go through structured onboarding, they are 58% more likely to retain or to remain with the organization for more than 3 years. So what are some of the things that we should do? Make sure that our employees are given the right tools to succeed. So, at the very beginning, the first day on the job, introduce them to the company values. Introduce them to other employees, so their coworkers in the organization, and let their manager be the one who's going to walk them around the organization and introduce them one by one to all their employees. Show them around. Have a training plan in place well in advance of their start date, so that employees are not going to sit at their desk and be bored on day one. Remember, we never get a second chance to make a first impression overall, and specifically with an employee in our organization. And also it is all very important to have their goals set up before they start. So this will show your new employees that you are on top of the new hire experience, and you will let them know up front what will it take in order to be successful in this role. Also, employees will need ongoing support. Have a resource where they can ask questions and then feel that is being handled in a way that's confidential and it feels safe. Typically that resource, is an HR professional, so it's the HR presence within your organization. Well, employees have that feeling of confidentiality and safe. It makes their experience overall with your organization a great one. Then managers and organizations will need to have access on HR areas such as and expertise such as employee development, training, an e-learning platform, an in-person training, something like that, coaching, succession planning, etc. And partnering with the PEO will enable the small to mid-sized organizations to have that expertise at their fingertips at all times. So these steps will make the employee experience a memorable one and will help retain the employees that you worked so hard to attract and bring to your organization. So let me talk a little bit about Tandem HR and why Tandem HR would be a great partner for small to mid-sized organizations. So why Tandem? Organizations partner with Tandem HR for shared liability, access to robust benefits at affordable rates, and to help them create exceptional workplaces. We will partner with organizations to offer their employees a more robust benefits package, one that is typically not available with small businesses, and that will help attract and retain top talent. you and your employees will have direct access to a full HR department of experts who pride themselves on exceptional and high-touch service for a fraction of the cost of doing it in-house. And you will be able to focus on growing your business because we take on the administrative burden associated with your greatest asset, which is, for really any organization, is the employees. And Tandem HR is a financially sound partner. So in addition to being, in addition to our ESAC assurance, Tandem HR is now a certified PEO, which means that we are audited on a quarterly basis by the IRS, and our clients no longer have to deal with those IRS audits for federal payroll purposes because Tandem HR will be the one who will take on that burden. And we are well versed in meeting the needs of organizations as small as 10 employees and as large as 700 employees. The bottom line is we are able to provide great value to our clients, and our average client retention rate is about 95% year over year. And it is also important to point out that our client tenure is about 10 years. These are proof that Tandem HR is a great partner for small to mid-sized organizations and is able to provide great bottom line impact, but also help organizations create exceptional workplaces.